You're very welcome to FM104's Open Mic with myself, Keith Ward. We're joined live in studio by singer-songwriter Keith Cullen.
How are you?
How are things?
I'm
I'm not going to forget your name.
No, it's
the
easy.
Same name.
This is one of them easy ones where name is not going to fail me this time, Keith.
I've like 5 computer screens in front of me here, and usually I just have the artist's name in front of me because I'm that bad when it comes to that. But we're lucky to know. So 2 Keiths, we should get our own radio show.
Absolutely.
Like Anton Deck.
Perfect.
Would you be up for
excited.
that?
Absolutely.
Sign
me up.
We're joined by Carl and Elliot as well. They're going to help him out with some playing some of the tunes. Did I get that right? Okay.
He has a Facebook alias, you see.
I saw it, which confused me. Bjorn? Is it? Yeah. Who's Bjorn?
And this is Carl, but neither.
I was thinking we're going to go a bit Swedish on tonight's thing. I had the IKEA joke, and then when I found out, thinking, oh, well, that's a bit of a letdown. That's like a half an hour of the show scripted, just gone out the window.
Tribute band in our spare time.
I'd love to see you in high heels, Keith.
Many have.
Yeah. We'll save that for the next half an hour.
Save that for the X-rated
If
part.
you've got any questions for Keith, he's going to be in the studio playing a couple of live tracks, and we'll also be playing his studio track, which is the new single, Say Something.
Say Something.
Which I very much like. We're going to play that at the end of the set. So if you've got any questions for Keith, throw them in 53104 for 20 cent or 6797 FM104. As I was saying to the lads just before we went on air, it gets a little bit interesting on a Sunday night, but a bank holiday Monday. Some of the questions could, get a bit weird, guys.
We're ready for them.
Are you sure? I'm not sure you want to. Invite this stuff
Bjorn Tubewile is ready for them.
My body is ready.
Just as we went live, Bjorn asked me, "Is it okay if I use this?" Which was one of those electric cigarette jobs, isn't it? Do they work?
In what sense?
As in, you're not smoking or doing anything else.
They're not going to kill you, sense.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I only got it the other day just to see what it was like. It's like a dodie though. It's in my mouth all the time.
It's not necessarily the most rock and roll thing I've seen, but on the 4 weeks we've been doing this, you certainly take the prize. I've nothing else to compare it to.
What do I get? What's the prize?
Hang on a second.
Is it an e-cigarette?
You can have this FM104 pen if you like.
I would like that pen actually.
Although Paul's been using it before me, so God knows what went on there. But as I said, if you want to get your text or tweets in as well, make sure to do so, and we'll throw some questions at the lads. But first up, Keith, you're back and forth between America and here. Is it LA that you're based in?
LA. So it's. People are saying, have you moved yet? I haven't actually moved. We started last October. We started with a guy over there called Bob Cudarella, 2-time Grammy Award winning producer. Had worked with everybody.
I was looking at the list earlier. It's some proper high flyers.
Yeah, it was definitely a scary venture going into the studio with him. And it was funny because we were doing some pre-production, and a friend of mine, Sharon, had said, listen, use my studio.
Yeah.
And she was like, here it is, and it's a garage out her back in LA. Now it's very cool, very vibey, but this guy pulls up in his Maserati, and I was like, he's going to take one look at the garage, turn on
this
his
is amateur hour.
Expensive leather shoes, and hit the highway again. But he didn't. He spent, I think that first day, he spent like 3-4 hours just going through all the music that me and JJ, who's my songwriting partner, had created, and he loved it. And a big thing for me was kind of that validation that what we were doing was on the right track.
Yeah.
So,
and when someone like that pulls up, obviously the pressure's on, but do you believe when he says, like, wow, it's the best thing I've heard in the last week? Can you believe it though? Because the song, I would say LA, and I know from talking to bands doing this before, that LA especially is, and I think it's mentioned in Say Something, the single that we're going to play in a couple of minutes, broken dreams. Everyone's offering,
everyone here is selling dreams.
Yeah.
Nobody understands.
No one.
They
don't all deliver. Yeah.
Well, it was funny. The summer before that, I had spent in New York and Boston, and I was with one of them agents who basically were full of shit. And for me, this was real. Everything about him was real. And to be honest, I kind of fobbed him off a little bit in the beginning because I met him when I was in Boston and we literally just collided for a couple of minutes in a recording studio, and he had said, oh, I had worked in Grouse Lodge and I was working with the Coronas and like some Irish bands, and then he was talking about Josh Stone and the people he was currently working with. And he basically just said, send me some of your tracks. And I said, I was coming home and I was like, is this just another American who is selling an empty promise? And he wasn't. And
how many people did you have to go through to? How many people offered you broken promises? Because this is what I found really interesting when I was looking up about you, because you were mentioning one or two people maybe let you down or made promises that they didn't keep. I know a lot of actors, a lot of struggling actors. Well, they'd say they're struggling anyway. Hopefully I don't fall out with a couple of friends. But they've been to auditions. Hey, the latest meeting for the Vikings coming up, and they've been told there's a great part written for you, and everyone's high as a kite. It's the best thing ever, and then they don't get a call back. Is it like that in the music industry?
Absolutely. In LA? And I think I said recently in an article that if people were to deliver 1% of what they actually say, she'd be retired in the Bahamas at this stage. So regardless of what other people offer, I have a plan. Management team have a plan. So we just keep going with what we do, no matter what people offer. I think this signing with this new management company, for me, because of the people behind it and their backgrounds, I'm very confident about the future. And I think you have to be, because otherwise you second guess everyone's decision then, and you become that naysayer who
become bitter.
And
I mean, the radio industry's full of them. I won't name any names, so just wait till the microphone's down.
And sound engineers, they're like the bitterest people I know.
Are the sound engineers kind of the hipsters of music? What I mean is, they've seen every band for the first time. Go, oh yeah, I remember when the Coronas first came in. Do you know what I mean? And I can picture them now with their cigarette in their hand, not an electric cigarette, a proper one, a rock and roll one. I'm looking on. But they claim to have seen everyone, and they know everyone, and
and that was a very big sweeping statement on my behalf, but I do think how first impressions are everything. So the first time you meet somebody, even if it's your first single and you go on to have massive chart success, you're going to meet that person again, especially in Ireland, because the industry is so small,
tiny.
And it's harder because you have a resentment towards how they treated you that first time that you met them.
But you're one of the good ones. You're doing well for yourself. You managed to persevere through that, and we'll talk a little bit later on of what you were doing before you got into this, which I find quite remarkable, because quite often musicians and artists and even actors, they do what they do because they literally can't do anything else. But you put your name to a couple of things for which I find quite impressive. But the lads Keith especially is going to stay with us for up until 11 o'clock, playing a couple of tunes. We're going to play his studio version, Say Something, as well. If you've got any text for the lads, 53104 for 20 cent, or give us a call even 6797 FM104. I promised Keith we wouldn't put anyone mad on yet, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know, I reckon you could throw anything at him and he'd answer. But listen, you're going to play your first live track for us. What's this one called?
This is called Say Something. This is the acoustic version.
Brilliant. In your own time, go for it.
Everyone here's selling dreams, but no one understands what those words mean. How can you tell me about something that you never had? Everyone here has their price, but no one ever seems to know what's right. all these lies that no one ever sees. Say something that's real. Give me something to feel. Say something that's right. Oh, tonight. Now I walk these streets, I'm searching for truth. The voice in my heart said I'm searching for you. Now every step I'll take, you're bringing me home. You're bringing me home. You're bringing me home. Bringing me home. All of these roads and all these streets, remembering the echoes of broken dreams. How you gonna close your eyes, pretend you didn't see? 'Cause people talk in circles all day long, but nobody will tell me what went wrong. How you gonna find your way when you don't believe? Say something that's real. Give me something to feel. Say something that's right. Oh, tonight. Say something that's real. Give me something to feel. Say something that's right. Oh, tonight. Now I walk these streets, I'm searching for truth. The voice in my heart said I'm searching for you. Now I walk these streets, I'm searching for truth. The voice in my heart said I'm searching for you. Now I walk these streets, I'm searching for truth. The voice in my heart said I'm searching for you. I walk these streets, I'm searching for truth. The voice in my heart said I'm searching for you. Say something that's real. Give me something to feel. Say something that's right. Oh, tonight. Say something that's real. Give me something to feel. Say something that's right. Oh, tonight. Say something that's real.
Beautiful Keith Cullen on FM104's Open Mic with Say Something, which we'll be playing the studio track in a couple of minutes. That it was an acoustic thing. You weren't messing, Keith. Before he came in, he was thinking, or he said to me, I sing really loud. I have to sit back from the microphone. Keith was actually in the other studio singing that song. That's how far away. Some pipes on you.
I think that's
It
why
was surprise. I don't mean to sound.
engineers
Yeah.
don't like me, because I sing very loud.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Just my voice. Just that's it.
It was. I don't mean to sound too surprised. Just you know, I feel like coming over and just patting you on the head. Look at you, and then that voice comes out. It takes you by surprise, I have to say. But look, as I said, Keith will be staying with us till 11 o'clock tonight. Send in your text messages 53104 for 20 cent. We're going to be talking about gigs coming up as well. We're going to be talking about people that you have also played with. Quite an impressive. Like, I'm looking at the list now. Hosier, you recently supported.
Yes.
What was that like? What's he like? Because I mean, he's the main man at the moment.
We're gonna sing a song that we did at his show, and he actually came out of his dressing room and said, "Who's that coming out of?"
As in the voice.
As in the voice. Yeah. He's just a lovely, lovely guy, and he's one of them people who deserves his success. And I think it's very nice to see.
He seems humble.
Yeah, and I know his manager very well, and I have regular chats with her, and she's probably one of my mentors, and she is very real about the industry as well. So he works extremely hard. He had the song, and the song did its work.
I carried it, yeah.
And people, and everything that he does, I think, is a perfect fit for him. So,
and he's true to himself as well. I I can't see Hozier selling out and doing drum and bass on his next album.
No.
You never know. You never know.
No.
We'll talk about your styles coming up next. We're going to take a break. The lads will be playing a couple of more live tracks, and of course, as I've been saying, we're going to play the studio version. This new single, Say Something, coming up next. I'm here with Keith Cullen, singer-songwriter. He just performed his first song, which is the single Say Something, acoustic version. Quite enjoyed it. Getting lots of texts in from people on 53104 who thought it was quite good. Would you describe? I hate kind of saying pop, but is it a little bit your music? Would you describe your music as kind of poppy? Now, when I say poppy, I don't mean NSYNC bubblegum pop.
Yeah, I think in the States they call it honest pop.
Honest pop.
Honest pop, which I thought that was very clever.
Okay.
And I might
what's it mean,
steal
though?
that as my own.
Be honest. What's it mean?
I think when your lyrics and your storytelling in your songs and things are real to you, it's a very honest expression of who I am as an artist. I get to work with an incredible guy called JJ Daly, and he just brings out the best in me. And I don't know if it's ever going to be commercial pop, but
well, there's no use in being extremely alternative and no one wants to listen to, or maybe, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to make music, I suppose, that you feel like brilliant about, but it has to sell.
Yeah, and my background is in business, and the word pop is derived from popular, so I definitely want. But it's not
a dirty word to you.
No, definitely not. I think what people associate with pop and big shows and outfits and Lady Gaga and that for me is not my style of music. But
or how you dress.
Well,
although it is radio, you want to see what the lads are wearing. Oh, I
wore my pajamas because it's way past my bedtime.
I'm not even wearing anything. Sure, look. But I suppose touching on that, you had a successful enough career in business beforehand. When does the time come that you think, right, I'm going to just jack all this in and I'm going to do music?
Well, there's lots of people who didn't want me to jack it in, but I think when you get to a point in your career, because my big thing was happiness. I want to be happy, I want to be happy, I want to be happy. And I thought in my mind, if I earned a certain figure, I'd be happy. If I drove a certain car, I'd be happy. If I lived in a certain place, I'd be happy. If I had certain things or certain holidays.
That is the temptation, isn't it? There's lots of jobs that people could do that would get them absolutely minted.
Yeah, I was very lucky because I was very young when I started in sales and marketing, and I did make really, really good money.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy ultimately in myself, so it came to a point where I was struggling to get up out of bed, even having all them things and having a successful business, because I knew it wasn't really what I was supposed to be doing. Again, I said in an article recently, the one reoccurring memory I had as a child was that I was supposed to sing, and that's all I wanted to do. So I think I just had to become brave enough to just do it. And honestly, I looked at it like a business, and I put a 3-year business plan in, and here we are on year 5. So I don't think the same rules apply to the music industry.
But to be fair, at least you put some structure on it.
Yeah, like Elliot, for instance, he doesn't abide by business hours, so he's on musician time, so he
I'm glad you said
up,
that. It was like he's revealing Elliot's a drug dealer live on air.
He shows up he shows up an hour late to rehearsals, whereas in business that would never fly. So there are definitely traits I still have, because I was 18 when I started in business, so it was all them formative years that I learned certain things about myself. And
when you turn around and you say to the family, I'm going back into the music, obviously they must know that music was really important to you, but they must be still going, are you sure now? Or did he think it was it's just a phase he's going through?
Yeah, it was funny because I used to take my mum on holidays a lot, and she hasn't been on holidays in a while.
Yeah.
And someone asked me the other
So that's her holiday gone.
Yeah, someone asked me the other day, "Are you working?" And I said, "I am working full time." My mum piped up and she was like, "You don't work." I was like, "I do work." She's like, "No, you don't. Like, you don't have a proper job." I was like, so that's the first time she's ever said that, which was interesting. But in fairness, they are so supportive.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I could tell them I want to be a pole dancer, and they would say, "Yeah, no problems."
Would they really? Well, on line one we have no, but I just think it's incredibly a brave thing to do, because I mean, we all know people who want the cars, want the mortgage, want this and that, and to get a steady job in marketing, that's, you know, that I'm always told, although I don't listen, that's, you know, the holy grail, that's where the money is. Must be brave enough to turn that down. You can't tell me you're always confident. I mean, you're a confident guy. I'm looking at in front of you. You know, you're exuding confidence. You couldn't have always been so sure, though.
No, like, and looking back, there was definitely mistakes that I made. As I said, I had only provisioned really for 3 years of getting in your foot in the door of the music industry, and here we are in year 5. So it's,
and that's how long it. I mean, that's how long it takes.
Yeah, and that with having a super team around me. Like, my manager is my sister, and she works 24 hours a day. And again, now we have other people on the other side of the pond who are working 24 hours a day. And I'm never not working now, because you're a walking, talking kind of machine of who you are. And like you said, coming on earlier on, it's important that your personality comes out. Well, that's every day, because you're meeting people and people ask what you do, and you say, "I'm a singer," and the first thing they do is YouTube you, or, you know, so it's just comes down to making a decision and committing to it. And that, for me, I just didn't want to do anything but music.
We mentioned a little bit earlier that when you're back and forth to LA, you've got a good tan on you. Fair play. The lads, not so much, but I don't know, do you drag these guys with you?
Unfortunately, they only get to stay here at the moment.
They're keeping the fort. They're keeping the fort safe for you. That's what they're doing.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I have a blast when I come home and we do stuff and we rehearse and we jam and all of that stuff. And, you know, if I had an option and they weren't so busy, they may be invited to Los Angeles.
That's something to work towards, guys. As they look quite sheepishly, they know they're not this year.
No, they're both in college, so that's a big thing for them.
I mean, it must be. I mean, if you're in LA, you must have bumped into and rubbed shoulders with so many. I hate using the word stars, but, you know, with proper proper celebs. I don't mean like your man off Celebrity Banish Store or, you know, RTE. I mean mega stars. Who have you met?
You do, and you just meet them in the randomest settings. I was on a hike and Julia Roberts was there.
Okay, yeah.
And looked stunningly
as you
beautiful, just hiking in her gear. Again, Colin Farrell was hiking. People love to hike in Los Angeles. We had breakfast beside Jessica Alba, and the person I was with knew her husband, so she was asking, "Where are you from?" And I've been to Ireland and that type of thing. So
it is like a passport
weird.
though. Once you're Irish, once you hear the accent,
it definitely is a lucky charm. It like, people straight away, they hone in that you're Irish, and they're like, well, they think we're raging alcoholics. That's the first thing. And I don't really drink, so.
Well, that was my next question. Are you a raging? Okay, so you're not.
I probably used to be.
Sure, look.
I'm sure loads of people will text in and say he's lying. He is a raging alcoholic. But
we've had to hide the text now. Yeah. Hang on. No, but is there anyone? And you did say beforehand, Keith was saying, I sometimes get myself in trouble by things I say. You can say it now. Is there anyone that you've bumped into? We won't say Irish because they could be listening. Is there anyone you've bumped into that you're thinking, not such a nice guy in the flesh?
I'm probably never going to do a collaboration with her anyway, so we're going to rule this one out. Rihanna, I met her here actually after one of her gigs, and she was no more interested than the man on the moon of meeting people or.
Was she a bit, because I saw
somewhat pleasant.
There was photos doing the rounds when she was over here but a year or two ago, and she was in a pub somewhere in town, and apparently people were going up to her a bit, maybe not like you, I mean just normal Joe Soaps, and she wasn't too happy. Now, in fairness, she did have a 7-foot shithouse of a security guard with her that you wouldn't want to mess with. Even if it was Temple Bar, you still would not be taking this guy. But she seemed a bit standoffish as well. But that's the vibe you got from her.
And I don't know, maybe it's they work so hard and they're tired. You have to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Could have caught her on an off day, maybe.
But the thing is, she chooses to do that public life. So when you're not really nice to the people who buy your records or support your music, that's a problem.
I'm fine.
Who cares? They bought them already.
And final, you've met Beyonce.
I'm nice to everybody.
Keith
Buy
Cullen,
my record.
Man of the Stars. You met Beyonce?
I did.
What was she like? Now, she is out of this stratosphere. She's unbelievable. She's hot as well.
She was so nice. And what was amazing to see with her, like, not to use her own words, but she was flawless from head to toe. And just doll-like. It was almost surreal when you met her. And my sister was actually pregnant at the time, and she was rubbing her bump and that type of thing. And I said to her, because I was being cheeky, I gave her a demo.
Yeah.
And she said, listen, the people behind you, they're from Universal. Why don't you give it to them
They're the
instead?
guys, yeah.
And I think it was Sony, actually. They texted me back and said, no, I'm not interested.
It's like maybe going out on dates or something, isn't it?
And I asked her, I said, what are you doing, while you're in Dublin? She's like, oh, we're going to go bike riding. And I was like, there is no way in the world she's going to go bike riding. And the next day in the papers, she was bike riding with Jay-Z up to...
Oh, was this the Phoenix Park?
No, it was the Guinness. She was going to the
Guinness
factory.
Store, where everyone... That's my... we'll say I won't subject you guys to it. That's my bugbear, that people just always end up going there. But listen, if you got any questions for the lads, say hi to Elliot. Love, Niall. I didn't mean anything to you there. Niall, is that your dad?
Hi.
Yeah.
Honestly, my dad.
Niall Elliott says hi. Keep up the great work, someone else says on 53104 for 20 cent. Or if you want to talk to Keith yourself, give us a call, 6797 F104. What's the next track you're going to play for us?
This is a cover. This is Paloma Faith. Only Love Can Hurt Like This.
Brilliant.
I tell myself you don't mean a thing, that what we got no hold on me, but when you're not there, I just crumble. I tell myself I don't care that much. I feel like I died till I feel your touch. Only love can hurt like this. Only love can hurt like this. It must have been that deadly kiss. Only love can hurt like this. Said I wouldn't care if you walked away, but every time you're there, I'm begging you to stay. 'Cause when you come close, I just tremble. Every time you go, it's like a knife that cuts right through my soul. Only love can hurt like this. Only love can hurt like this. Only love can hurt like this. Must have been that deadly kiss. Only love can hurt like this. Only love can hurt like this. Your kiss is burning through my skin. Only love can hurt like this.
Keith Cullen with a Paloma Faith cover there on FM104's Open Mic. Getting lots of texts in now in reaction to that song as well, which we'll read after the break. Keith Cullen, singer-songwriter, is in studio with us till about 11 o'clock. We're minutes away from playing his latest single, Say Something. If you've got any questions for the lads, Keith, Carl, some bizarre stuff coming in. It could be family members. Where was the one I saw there? Let's have a little ramble here. Hi to Carl, are sure to tell Elliot and Keith hi too. It comes in from Mizzy. Do we know a Mizzy?
Mizzy Wonder.
Yeah, I've worked with Keith and he's a lovely, genuine guy from Marky Mark.
Ah, Marky Mark.
That might be my dad now.
Oh, okay. I was thinking is that the actual Marky Mark? Would you? I wouldn't be surprised, Keith. You seem to run into everyone. I thought that was Mark Wahlberg there for a second.
I get around.
Yeah.
Pretty sure maybe
we can hear some of those stories during the break. Listen, as I said to you, Keith Cullen will be staying with us till 11 o'clock tonight, playing another live track and also playing his new single, Say Something, after the break.
FM104's Strawberry Alarm Clock.
We doing this, yeah,
104.
you see, we blow those chords, 104, not 103. Check in, you know, man, it is the boss. Who's the best on 104? Strawberry Alarm Clock.
FM104's Strawberry Alarm Clock.
Back Tuesday from 6 a.m.
FM104.
Hire a car on holiday? Don't pay expensive car hire excess charges at the car hire desk abroad. Buy cover before you go at carhireexcess.com and save money. We can insure the excess online from only $2.99 a day, so don't get caught out with extra charges at the car hire desk abroad. Go online to carhireexcess.com or call us on 0818 444447. Price based on European cover for drivers 21 to 84 years of age with full licence. Blue Insurance Limited trading as carhireexcess.com is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
FM104's Open Mic with Hard Rock Cafe, Temple Bar. Feel the music with Dublin's Hard Rock Cafe. HardRock.com.
FM104's Open Mic
With Keith Ward.
We've got Keith Cullen live in studio, singer-songwriter. He is getting quite a reaction on our old text machine there. People seem... They like that cover. You were telling me during the break. Who wrote it? Wasn't her, was it?
Diane Warren, who is just iconic. She's done every big hit for most female artists in the world, and
would that be someone that you'd love to work with? I mean, when you're writing stuff, is it JJ you were saying who writes with you?
Surprised he isn't texting in with very rude stuff.
Is he? Who does the? I mean, I'm always curious when people get together and write a song and sit down and write it. Like, who does what, or is that too much of a structure putting it on it?
I don't know. It's very different all the time. He's incredibly talented, and I have to say that because he comes up with these concepts. And when you're doing your first album, I think you have a lot to say. You know, you have back years of 30 years where you can pull on experiences. I think the problem becomes your second album when the first one does do well.
The expectation level. It's
the expectation, but you're also like, for someone like a Hosier, you're on the road 24/7. So where do you write it? You know, a lot of the time you take inspiration.
Where do you write
in
them?
the setting?
I mean, because you're going to be even more busier now. I mean, you've got a UK radio tour coming up. Where do you get the time now do you have to be disciplined? Well,
my big thing is when we went to LA, we had 42 tracks that were pretty much finished. So but you're never finished. So you think, oh, you know, we have all the tracks. And even when I came back, I said, now that's it, now we have the album. And then we just came up with this concept of Dear Future Me as a title, as a working title. And then I was like, well, we don't have a song. So then we had to go in and we started writing a song. And then it was like, what will we tell ourselves 20, 30 years down the line? And if this is a big success, did we sell out at any point? And that's what the song's about. And then from that,
honest pop, as you're going to say.
Yeah. Honest and just, you know, asking yourself them questions that I'm sure we'll all ask ourselves in the future. Did we enjoy it? Was it fun? Was it worth it? Was it worth all the pain and the sweat, blood and tears and all that stuff? And I think that's where you draw inspiration from.
See, I don't think you do anything half-arsed now, because you gave up a decent career in business and marketing, so it kind of doesn't make sense now to go half-arsed, does it? You got to go full force.
Yeah, I think, you know, someone said to me, what's your plan B, the other day, and I was like, and I find that quite disrespectful, because I think if you have a plan, you should stick to it, and the only reason that you ever fail in something is if you give up or your priorities change. So they're like, oh, you have to have a plan B. I was like, no, the plan B is non-existent, because then you don't really commit to plan A, and
you're kind of preparing to fail in some respects, or at least planning to, in case this doesn't work out. So you don't have a plan B. This is plan A is the only plan you have.
And you know, it's hard sometimes, and I'm very lucky because Jennifer sends the thousands of emails a day, so I don't get to see,
this is the boss, this is your sister, the manager. I
don't get to see the hundreds of rejections, you know, from people all the time. But I think you just have to shoot and aim for what you want and keep going. So, but like, I think musicians and singers, they're quite sensitive by nature. So if you were to take every no, you know, personally, you wouldn't get up in the morning. So I don't really take anything personally, and I'm kind of the first to knock on people's door and say, listen, this is what I'm doing, can you help? And a lot of them so far have been very obliging.
That's good advice to anyone that's listening at the moment, maybe looking to get into you know, music, or maybe they're in a job that they don't particularly like or they don't enjoy, and music is what they want to do, but maybe they're too afraid to take the risk. I think it's a good example. And when you're over in LA or I suppose touring, and you meet fellow Irish musicians, do you kind of stick together as a kind of like a colony?
Like, usually I don't. If I go away somewhere, I don't want to go to an Irish bar or meet up with Irish people, because that's what you're surrounded by here. And I like to go and have the French experience, or the, you know, the Australian experience, or whatever it is. But I think LA is very different. It's you're a long way from home. It's extremely competitive. It is Los Angeles. It's the home and the hub of entertainment and showbiz, and everyone there is
an
actor, model, musician, and they call them the triple threat. You know, they can sing, they can dance, they can act, and unfortunately I can only do one.
There's people that can't do any.
So they were like, oh no, you must take dance lessons, and I was like, listen, you don't want to see that.
I can picture it now. I can.
So you know, I met some incredible people over there. The last time, Amy Creighton, who's doing a big thing in Edinburgh for the Fringe Festival, and you know, you click with the people who, you know, speak your own language. We're very sarcastic, so a lot of Americans don't. As a nation, I think we're very sarcastic, so a lot of people don't get that in America. They don't get your sense of humour.
We have that dark sense of humour as well, which sometimes, or nearly always, oversteps the mark.
And we're mad for an L cup of tea, so usually the Irish people over there have a bag of Lions or Barry's somewhere in their house.
An emergency supply stashed away. An
emergency supply of tea and biscuits.
Where do you keep your tea and biscuits, Keith?
In the press.
Oh, that's a bit boring.
Yeah.
I keep mine under the bed.
You don't even want to know what Elliot keeps in his guitar. his guitar case.
We're gonna have to search. We're gonna have to search Elliot on the way out of this building just in case he started robbing equipment.
Definitely would.
Just to be sure, you know. Yeah, I was wondering why there was a metal detector in FM104. It's for people like him. That's why. But I'm seeing in front of me here as well, which I don't know. Can you name it? You have one of. Is it Say Something that's going to be in an up and coming blockbuster?
Blockbuster.
Is it a new film? Can you say what the name of the film is?
Yeah, it's called High Strung. I was very fortunate. I was in a recording studio when the director walked in, and again, that usual, oh, where are you from? Ireland. What are you doing here? Music. Can I listen? Yes, you can. And it was a song that wasn't even finished. And he said, listen, I have a part in the movie that it's a pub scene and I really want to fill it. And it was an Irish pub in New York. Yeah. So
as you do.
You do.
I'm picturing cocktails and dreams or something.
And I was flattered, and he said, let me hear it. And there was only a verse and a chorus done, and he said, I'll take it. And I said, grand. I said, well, it's not finished. He said, well, can you finish it? And I said, of course we can. He said, I need it by tomorrow. I was like, oh, that's awkward, but we did it. And you know, so yeah,
that's crazy. So you're on the soundtrack of what could be quite a big film.
Yeah, crazy things like that tend to happen to me a lot, and I am very grateful that I get opportunities like that. So I would love to say it's all down to my hard work and my talent, but it's usually passing somebody like the producer.
You need a bit of pinch of luck as well.
Absolutely.
A text that came in, really brilliant to hear such a fresh new artist with a superb voice. Sounds like a great humble guy. Looking forward to hear more from Keith in the very near future. Comes in from Connor. I mean, how do you deal with criticism? People, like, I mean, for instance, when someone says to you, what's your plan B? It's kind of like a backhanded confidence or compliment, should I say.
I think for every person who gives you a compliment, there's going to be 10 others who don't. Like, music is very subjective, so you can't say, you know, that everybody's going to like it. You know what? For me, I just don't take it personal, and like, I don't think any person in the world takes.
You can't. I mean, even from, you know, doing radio, and I'm just encouraging people to do this now. 53104 for 20 cents. There's some of the insults that come in directed at me or whoever. You just get used to it after a while.
And the Twitter is a big thing because people hide behind their keyboards, and they say awful things about your music, about you, about your looks, that type of things. But for every, you know, negative thing, there's somebody who likes your song. Or
I suppose it just depends what you're putting emphasis on, the negative comments or the positive, because sometimes we choose, I suppose, to, you know, as you said, you could get 10 compliments and someone sends you like an offensive thing, you go, oh, you dwell on that longer. And
again, I'm on Twitter and I'm on Facebook.
What's your Twitter handle?
At Keith Cullen. Everything's at Keith Cullen, my Facebook and Instagram. And I think, you know, they're a great platform, but they're not my whole life. So I really go based off the people around me, the people I meet, the management, and, you know, people who are in the industry, who they're the people I take seriously, and producers.
They know what they're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, and like, I definitely am very grateful for followers and that type of thing, but I'm not one of these people who constantly sit at home and worry about what people are going to say, because I wouldn't get up out of bed.
You wouldn't be in here in that case either. Where's your music available? I love it. Sounds like a really nice guy. Lots of love for you, Keith.
Thanks. We'll pay you all later. It's in the work, so you can download some stuff. I'm on SoundCloud as well. You can download some stuff on iTunes and that.
I was checking out your website as well, which is up and running, and it looks well. It doesn't look like a Bebo page, which is something I can't say for a lot of people that send us stuff. Little tip to people that do send us stuff, but it's, you know, you're up to scratch on that as well. We're chatting to Keith Cullen, who's playing us a couple of tunes. You're going to play your last live track now before we go to the new single, which is Say Something. What's it called?
This is With Eyes Open.
With Eyes Open. This is Keith Cullen on FM104's Open Mic.
I've been looking for a reason to share some time. You keep turning your eyes away from mine. There's a secret that you're keeping, you got to let me know. 'Cause I can see behind the smiles that there's no peace. Tears will be a welcome release. If there's something that you're hiding, you got to let me know. In the nighttime when the dark won't end, I'll be waiting there to take your hand. When the lights go out, I will guide you home. I'll be watching from the shadows while you sleep, peeling up the face your heartbreak leaves. If there's something that you're hiding, you got to let me know. In the nighttime when the dark won't end, I'll be waiting there to take your hand. When the lights go out, I will guide you home. In the darkness of the endless night, I'll be waiting there and by your side. When the lights go out, I will guide you home. Nobody is to go through this alone. Don't ever have to feel that you're alone. In the nighttime when the dark won't end, I'll be waiting there to take your hand. When the lights go out, I will guide you home. In the darkness of the endless night, I'll be waiting there and by your side. When the lights go out, I will guide you home. I wanna go home.
Keith Cullen on FM104 is Open Mic. Love it. Lots of texts coming in thick and fast for Keith on 53104 for 20 cent. Elaboration. I go into work and I'd say to Keith, what did you do on your day off? I should pre-read these bloody things. Let's hope it's good. What did you do with your day off, or what are you doing tomorrow? The reply is always, I was in the studio or at a meeting. He's driven and won't stop till he gets what he wants, and even then he won't stop. So the compliments thick and fast.
And I do apologise for fluffing up the lyrics there, because I was trying to read them on the screen.
Oh, we didn't notice.
And not pay attention, so I do apologise.
Lesson learned in that one, Keith.
Lack of professionalism on my part.
Caroline's on line one. How are you, Caroline? Hello, Caroline. We'll see if we can get Caroline back. She had a question for Keith there as well. Maybe maybe it was something that she wasn't allowed saying. She just bottled it. Sounds like a really cool guy. Best of luck. Nice work, dude. Yeah, just a lot of love. I want to win tickets. Are you giving away tickets or something, Keith? What's that about?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I love to win tickets as well. If anyone wants to give me any tickets,
or maybe
that'd be fantastic.
or maybe it's a reference to where he's selling scratch cards before he came in.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past this guy, to be honest. We're talking to Keith Cullen, singer-songwriter, who's going to be with us for the next couple of minutes. We're going to be playing his new studio track, which is Say Something. And if you got any questions, we'll see if we can get Caroline back actually as well. Got any questions? 53104 for 20 cent, or give us a call like Caroline did for 6797 FM104. Hello, Caroline. Hello, Caroline. I don't know, Caroline. I feel like I'm calling on the dead here. And there you go.
Ghost of Caroline.
I tell you, we're going to take a break and we're going to chat some more to Keith Cullen, and you can get him on Facebook as well. You're on Facebook at Keith Cullen. Yeah. You're on Instagram. You doing that Instagram?
I am. That's my favourite thing, actually.
I don't get Instagram. I mean, I know what it is. Like, it's taking I just kind of. I like Twitter because you can have a conversation with people. You can slag people off. Instagram, I don't know. Would you post? What do you post on Instagram? Music related, I'm sure, or is it just literally your breakfast?
I think for me, it's a reminder of where you've been. So a lot of the times when you're traveling, you snap a picture. Like today when we walked in, we snapped FM104, and that will be a marker. So I think it's for when I'm old and can't remember.
Just get out the smartphone.
Just get out the smartphone and go back.
Maybe that's why I don't get it, because I haven't been to as many places as you have. Like, I mean, no one wants to see my Instagrams.
Maybe your memory's just better than mine.
Maybe, well, yeah, but see, no one wants to see my Instagrams going, on the bus again, in the pub again. You've got a UK radio tour coming up. Is it this month?
The 17th to the 20th of August. So we're over in Scotland.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, when we put out the information about the single and the new signing, they were the first to pick up on it. So we said we'd go there, and a friend of mine, as I said, is in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. So we finish off in Edinburgh and we go see one of her shows, and then we come back. So and then it's probably back to the big LA. So
big LA, because I mean you can't neglect UK. It's such a massive market as well. I mean it's our closest neighbours.
And to be honest, they've been super supportive. We did BBC Radio London last year, and it is, it's such a big market as well. So we're looking forward to the future. There's loads of articles coming out this week. The management company that I'm signed to has just expanded into Belfast, so there's going to be some live
crossover
shows
stuff
there. So it's just really getting your name out there, and getting to as many stations and publications as we physically can for these next coming weeks. So I'm excited.
And what upcoming gigs have you got coming up?
I'm not doing any this side
of the radio tour. You're not doing anything beforehand, is it?
No, we're not doing any live shows at the moment. Just because we don't really have a direction yet for a show. The album's so new, and
you're kind of flat out with that, really, aren't you?
Yeah, it's just the promotion to start with. So we'll see. There's lots of talk of a tour in America when I go back. So I don't really want to jinx that too much. So I always find if you speak about it too soon,
it doesn't happen.
You jinx it.
I love you. I love you're the most superstitious guy 1 minute, and then things just happen to you. You literally just seem to fall on your feet.
But I think one of them things are, if you talk about it too prematurely, it definitely. I've made that mistake on radio and on social medias where I announce something and then the promoter's like, "Oh no, that's changed." So
and then you have egg in your face. Yeah.
So you
before you head off, give us your Twitter handle. Give us your Instagram.
It's at Keith Cullen for Twitter, for Facebook, and it's Keith Cullen Music actually on Facebook, and at Keith Cullen on Instagram.
Okay, well listen, thanks for popping in. I think you're going to be really big. I mean, I love the positivity, and you can see on text as well the positivity that people have for you. You seem like a genuinely almost too nice Keith. I mean, geez, you're making me, I'm Keith as well, you're making me look bad.
You should see me in the morning. I'm a different person. No, but thank you so much to FM104 and to everybody who's supported me through articles, blogs, social media, all of that stuff. And for playing the record, I really appreciate it.
Brilliant stuff. Well, if there was a vote done in this room who was the sounder of the Keiths, I think you'd win. No, in fairness, I am outnumbered.
I'd pick you.
Yeah, well, I am outnumbered though. But listen, I'm going to play Keith's new single, which is, when's this out? It's out now.
It's out. It's on SoundCloud, so it's free for people. So it will officially have a release when the movie comes out.
And is this what's in the movie?
This is the one that's in the movie.
This is what's in the movie.
And this was the first track we wrote when we went to LA.
I love it. This is how good this song was. It was only half written and decided to put it in a fucking film. Well, listen, Keith, thanks very much for coming in, and I hope that you'll join us again. That was Keith Cullen, FM104's Open Mic. As I said, this is Keith's new single, which is called Say Something, and I think it's going to be really big.